Oh, man. This is what football does to you. Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it has just finished at Wembley Stadium. Arsenal 0, Manchester City 2. We lose the Carabao Cup Final, probably in the worst way possible, I'd say. The headline to this video, to this reaction to the game, is Orators of Our Own Downfall. I think that let's start where a lot of people, I can imagine, when they're doing these reactions, are going to start. Arteta decided to go with Kepa in goal instead of David Raya. A lot of people will be saying that's a mistake. And will be saying that's the reason why we lost the game, because of the decisions Arteta made. I would have started David Raya if it was me. I always think for a final, you probably should start your best goalkeeper. I think a lot of the decisions that the manager made in this game were a bit weird, and that was probably one of them. I wouldn't go. I mean, I had a quick scan of X before I came on here, and already, you know, the normal shit that you see every single time we lose or draw a game. I know, don't get me wrong. I'm disappointed. The magnitude of this game for us as a club was huge. You know, we haven't won a trophy in 5.5, 6 years, and on paper we were probably the favourites to win this. But you know, and for 45 minutes we were giving it to City. We didn't take our chances. We had a chance early on through Kai Havertz. I mean, even before a ball was kicked, Mark Gahey wasn't playing because he was signed before the semi-final first leg that they had with Newcastle. Ruben Diaz was out with injury, so their starting centre-backs were two of their starting centre-backs were out with injury. James Trafford in goal, not Donnarumma. James Trafford's a decent goalkeeper, but he's not Donnarumma. So immediately you're thinking, and this was yesterday, I heard this, you're thinking, oh, well, I mean, that works in our favour. Then literally 40 minutes before the game, I see Fabrizio Romano puts out a Instagram post that Jurrien Timber and Eberechi Eze are out of the game. And that was where I was like, and I know I said in the preview that never write off City when they've got a point to prove, especially when they've got a point to prove. And I feel like today they had that point to prove. But when I saw Eze was out, especially, I was like, yeah, we're going to struggle to create chances today. Because in the last couple of days, Eze's done a pretty decent job of filling in that Odegaard number 10 role and doing really well to keep the ball moving and keep the ball moving forward. But to be fair, first half, neither team really had any clear-cut chances. We were probably like slightly the better team overall, I'd say, in the first half. You'd probably say it was maybe even. So if you wanted to be like proper objective, you'd probably say it's even. So for the first 25 minutes, we were the better team of the first half. The second 25 minutes or so, or second 20 minutes or so, City were the better team. And it was like, it was one of those things where I was worried. And this is something that's happened a lot this season that has been incredibly frustrating, is that we get into these positions where the game gets away from us. And sometimes we've got lucky where we've been playing a team that hasn't got the quality, but today we were playing a team that had the quality. And I wouldn't go as far as to say that City were outstanding, like Gary Neville was creaming himself over on Sky Sports, creaming himself about, saying that they were absolutely outstanding. They weren't. They were better second half. Don't get me wrong, and they were by far the better team second half. But I wouldn't say. I think we did more to make them look better than they were like absolutely battering us. I don't know what Arteta said to the team at half time, but we decided to then just play in our shell and play cautious and play negative to, I don't know, try and catch them on the break. And it's like, but we barely created anything. Why are we playing so negatively? We're not going to catch them on the break. And then, you know, they're knocking on the door. Ryan Shirky's absolutely battering our midfield. They get a ball in. Kepa can't keep hold of it, and it unfortunately lands in front. And Nico O'Reilly just does enough to get in front of Zubimendi to nod it home to make it 1-0. And at that point, I was like, game over. We're not getting back into this. Literally 3 minutes later, another good move by City, ball into the box from, I think it was from Doku. And then, O'Reilly again arrives late in the box to make it 2-0. That one we couldn't do very much about, apart from maybe whoever it was that was meant to be marking Doku getting tired to him. I don't know. But yeah, 2-0. And at that point, I was like, I almost switched it off. And I don't normally do that. I almost switched it off. I was like, well, there's no point because we're not going to get back into this game. There are a few, moments here and there where, when Madueke came on, even though he looked poor for the most part, when Calafiori came on, there are a few moments where we're getting the ball forward, but yeah, it just wasn't working. And I just feel like we totally dropped our shop in today. We essentially just shit ourselves. We came out second half and decided to play like relegation fodder in a cup final, which is disturbing, to be honest. I don't mean to be overreactive or hyperbolic, but it was disturbing because it was sort of like, well, we've been the better team we've been the better team man for man for City this season, or man to man, we've been just as good as them, if not better. And we decided to go in and play conservatively. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm in two minds. I don't know whether it's that we played badly or whether we just threw it away. And, at the end of the season, if we go on to win the league, it won't matter. But the Arteta outers, who I saw all over social media earlier on, and the pundits and the rival fans that think we're Millwall right now and fucking hate us, they're going to be, this is their narrative now. This is going to be their narrative until after the international break and after the FA Cup weekend. This is going to be their narrative. Oh, is this now going to unravel Arsenal season? Oh, this was really big for Arsenal. They really needed to win this. If they didn't win this, that could be their season over. That gets into players' heads. That gets into fans' heads. And it's going to make the rest of the season incredibly tough. Now, I said if we did win this, it would be good momentum. But I also said this is City's competition. They've won 6 out of the last 11. And yeah, I went into this knowing that there's a very high possibility that this might not be our day. I just didn't expect us to just go, there you go. I just didn't expect us to do that. I didn't expect us to just roll over and give it to them. Because we did all right. As I said, we did all right first half. We were all, apart from, not, creating very little chances, which to be fair, both teams did in the first half. We did all right. All we needed to do was just carry on doing the same. And for some reason, we just sunk back into ourselves. And I don't know whether that came from the manager. I don't know whether it was something that happened in the first few minutes of the second half that made us think, oh, fuck, we've got to defend. I don't know, man. I saw somebody that I believe just probably said this for likes and comments that, if we go on, if our season does indeed unravel from here on in, that Arteta needs to go. I think that is probably that goes without saying. I think at this point, particularly in the league, I think if we somehow lose this league after being 9 points clear, it's clear that Arteta's not the guy, or that we probably do need a fresh voice in the dressing room. Not necessarily that he's done anything wrong, because there's a lot of things that he's done right in the last 6 years. But yeah, this, for me, I'm disappointed because this was the trophy I thought we were going to win. This was genuinely the trophy I thought we were going to win. Until it turned out that we were going to be playing City in the final. If we were playing Newcastle, I would have been a little bit more confident, especially the way Newcastle are playing at the moment. I would have been like, yeah, we can probably beat them on the day. But yeah, as soon as it was City, I was like, City know how to win this competition. As I say, they won 6 in the last 11 Carabao Cup finals. Like they they know how to win this trophy. And they'll be buoyed as well. They'll be going into the international break thinking we've got Arsenal on the ropes. All we need to do is win our game in hand and beat them at the Etihad, and we're back in it. And after I didn't watch the game, but I saw the result with Chelsea losing 3-0 to Everton last night. And that normally I think with Chelsea, because Chelsea are normally like the kingmakers. They're normally the people that like will normally throw a spanner in the works on the way to a league title. They've done it so many times, particularly at Stamford Bridge. Anytime you're playing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge towards the end of the season and you're going for a title, they'll get something off of you. And that's kind of what I thought might happen. It might still happen, we don't know. But like, it doesn't fill me with confidence when they're losing 3-0 to Everton, put it that way. So we'll see. And we've got to do our job against Bournemouth. And right now, you know, it's up in the air. I wouldn't say that I'm sitting here saying that like the season's done or the season's over. And there will be fans out there that frankly probably have a staple through their stomach or something like that. Like they just, you know, I don't understand why you would react that way. Like, yes, we lost and it's disappointing and I'm pissed off that we lost, but the season's not over yet. You know, we've still got, 7 games to go in the Premier League. We've still got the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We've still got the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, you know, which is around Easter time. So right now, there's nothing to go too crazy about. There's nothing to go. I'm saying that there is going to be a meltdown. There already has been a meltdown. There's already people saying Arteta out. There are already people saying Kepa's no good and should never play again and should never play against Southampton and all this stuff. And this is the funny thing with Kepa. I will come to his defense. He's been okay when he's played. He's been okay. He's very different to David Raya. Obviously an inferior keeper, but he's been okay. So I sort of understand why he got started, but it looks like a mistake. It's not a good look. That's how I would describe it. It's not a good look at this moment in time, having lost 2-0 to City in a final, in our first final in 6 years or 5.5 years to be precise. It's disappointing, but we move. We've got to take it at the end of the day. You know, the main thing that's pissing me off is the fact that there will now be that narrative that, yeah, this is Arsenal season unraveling now. We'll see. We'll see. Well, that's it for a couple of weeks. Well, I say a couple of weeks. I think we don't have a game next weekend because it's the international break. Next game is Southampton away in the FA Cup quarter-final. On Saturday the 4th, which I will probably do some content for because we're now in the latter stages of the competition, and because I might have time to do it. So yeah, you'll probably see something there. And then we're not back in the Premier League until the 11th of April. So it's a long time to wait. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a long time to wait before we're back in it again. When does City play Chelsea? Sunday. So we play the day before in the 12:30 kickoff, and they play at 4:30 on Sunday. That Bournemouth game is now massive. In fact, the Southampton game is massive, and the Sporting game. All three of those games are massive. You know, because, and this isn't even an Arteta thing. We all remember seasons gone by, particularly in the Emirates era, where our season could be over in a cluster. You know, we go out of the FA Cup, go out of the Champions League, and are out of the league in the space of a weekend. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I've seen it happen before. And this is why I'm saying that, like, I'm hoping that, like, the run of form that we've had, i.e. where when we lost to United, for example, we came back strong the next games against Spurs and Spurs and Chelsea. You know, I'm hoping that continues because it's true. This could easily unravel the season. I just really hope it doesn't. I just hope the guys go. It was a poor performance. We've still got it all to play for. It's one trophy. It is what it is. My main thing is that I'm just disappointed at the way we lost the game, and that it was a trophy that I was like, bare minimum, we have to win the Carabao Cup. So already, that's my sort of minimum expectation gone. I mean, we've still got 3 trophies left to go for, but yeah, that was sort of my minimum expectation, to win a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup. Anyway, here's what it is. I'm going to go and do something else now on this Sunday. Try and enjoy the rest of my evening. As I say, I probably will do something for. It'll probably be a just a sim rather than a preview for both the Carabao Cup, but Carabao, it's done now. Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the next games in the Champions League. And I'll be back to probably doing previews for Bournemouth. But yeah, there probably will be match reactions to both of them. There definitely will be for the Sporting game. I will try and do a match reaction, watch it and do a match reaction for the Southampton game. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. I will be back again soon. Enjoy the interlull, as the guys on Arscast say. Yeah, see you for Southampton, which is a big game, because we've got to keep staying in these competitions, because there's one gone now. It's 1 down, 3 to go. All right, take care and stay safe. Oh, before I forget, I wore this again, because normally I only do like three kits, three videos in the same kit, and I thought, oh, we've been winning, so I'll wear this kit. Fat load of good that did. Anyway, take 2. Take care and stay safe. It'll be all right in the end, don't worry. There's bigger things to worry about than football.
Remember to like and subscribe, and also follow Dan on social media. All the information is in the description below.